Lady Lucifer charges in without warning. Augustus stands firm and quickly tells Tang Zhan to lead the charge. His voice carries strength and clarity. The rest of the team gets clear orders to support both of them from behind. Augustus then shares a very important detail about this battle. This arrogant boss cannot be damaged unless the attacker has already beaten one of the kings of original sin. The samurai warrior hears this and doesn't waste time. He understands that the real fight is in the hands of Augustus and Tang Zhan. The shield warrior standing nearby keeps his thoughts to himself. He plans to assist for now, but in his heart he already thinks about escaping if things go badly. That kind of half-hearted bravery wouldn't impress a squirrel. The samurai activates a special skill called the Samurai's Benevolence. A soft glow spreads around him. Nearby allies feel stronger with their physical attack power boosted by 20%. Their wounds begin to close slowly thanks to a healing effect that restores a bit of health every second. Next to him, the shield warrior calls upon a different power, Spirit Beast's encouragement. The energy in the air shifts again. Magical strength and defense rise for all allies nearby. Their maximum health increases too. At least now he's being useful. Augustus lifts his staff and summons a great force of thunder and lightning with his heaven and earth thunder transformation. At the same time, Tang Zhan puts his full strength into the Extreme Annihilation Fist. Both attacks strike perfectly. The explosion is massive. Smoke and dust cover the area like a thick fog. When everything clears, Lady Lucifer stands still, and for the first time, her eyes widen. She finally realizes she's been hurt. For someone who acts like a goddess, her surprise is almost funny. Even the smallest wound on her ego hurts more than the blast itself. Augustus sees the moment and rallies the group. His voice is confident. This enemy isn't untouchable. She bleeds. That means she can fall. Lucifer, of course, doesn't take that lightly. Her pride gets poked harder than her body. She lashes out with empty insults, calling them weak and pretending like the damage didn't matter. She's the kind of villain who talks more than she fights. Now she fights back for real. Her power flares and she activates Dark Domain, an exclusive skill that traps enemies inside a giant barrier, one that covers a huge area nearly 500 meters across. Inside the barrier, everyone becomes weaker. Their strength, speed, and defense all drop by half. That's her big move. Hide inside a cheap trick and hope no one notices she's sweating. Everyone starts getting pulled into the barrier. The force is strong and there's no escape. But in that moment, Augustus looks down and notices something strange. Tang Zhan and the two ladies are not moving. They are not getting pulled inside. They stand there untouched by the Dark Domain. Augustus watches them, trying to understand what is happening. Something is not right about this moment. A glowing portal forms behind Tang Zhan and the two ladies. The light hums with energy, and from it steps out Suyang. His presence changes the mood instantly. His calm expression hides something deeper. He activates Soul Engraving without needing to move a muscle. Power flows through the air like a silent wave. Tang Zhan reacts fast, but his soul is now engraved. He is now under the influence of Suyang. He grabs both the ladies by the hand and leaps forward with them. His movements are sharp and focused. He rushes somewhere, clearly knowing what must be done. The barrier behind them keeps shrinking, closing in on the others still trapped inside. Suyang looks across the battlefield. His eyes lock onto the closing barrier. He knows this moment only buys a little time. He trusts Tang Zhan to make use of it. No panic, no noise, just quiet control. Then Suyang glances back at Lucifer. The rest of the enemies are gone, wiped out like dust in the wind. Only she remains standing there with her pride still puffed up like it means something. Lucifer moves. She lands nearby with all her fake pride. She throws out more of her tired insults. She still believes she's above everyone else. She cannot believe this is the one her master spoke of. She looks at him with disbelief. In her shallow mind, he does not look strong enough to even stand on the same ground. Suyang lets out a small laugh. He doesn't take her words seriously. He starts walking toward her. He carries himself with a kind of confidence that doesn't need to be loud. He looks at Lucifer and tells her to stop acting so full of herself. He gives her a task without asking. He tells her to go and retrieve someone for him. His voice is firm. He doesn't explain. He expects her to obey. Lucifer stands there, completely shocked. The words hit her harder than she expected. Her proud attitude fades, and she can only mumble a quiet answer. Her thoughts are spinning. For a second, she feels something heavy in the air around Suyang. It reminds her of her majesty, the powerful presence she respects and fears. But then she shakes her head. That can't be true. It must be her imagination. There's no way this man, who looks so ordinary, could give off that kind of feeling. Meanwhile, back in his mansion, the elf princess is in a good mood. She is singing to herself in the garden, while giving water to the plants. Leaves sway gently in the soft breeze. Suddenly, that calm wind turns wild. The air becomes heavy and a loud whoosh breaks the silence. A dark portal bursts open in the middle of the garden. The ground shakes slightly. The elf princess gasps and falls to her knees, frightened. The warmth in the garden is swallowed by a cold shadow. Something dark has come, and it brings fear with it. The elf princess looks up, confused and frightened. Her eyes lock onto the dark portal, and her body is frozen in fear. She wonders what is happening. Something feels very wrong. Then the figure of Lucifer steps out from the swirling shadows, cold and full of pride. Behind her stands Suyang, silent and still, watching everything. Lucifer doesn't waste time. She speaks to the elf princess and demands her to come. There is no kindness in her voice. A massive hand made of glowing purple energy forms in the air. Without any care, she stretches it toward the elf princess and grabs her like a toy. The poor girl screams and struggles. Her voice rises, full of fear and confusion. She keeps shouting and asking why she is being taken, who they are, and to let her go. The portal begins to shrink quickly, closing like a hungry mouth. In just a moment, the swirling darkness pulls Lucifer and the elf princess inside. Then it vanishes without a trace. The garden falls silent once more, as if none of it ever happened. Far away at the resurrection point, Augustus and the others return, their bodies still aching and broken. Their faces are full of defeat. Augustus can't believe it, they lost again. Their enemy is too powerful. No matter how many times they try, they are thrown back down. The samurai warrior speaks, tired and honest. He says that the difference in strength is just too much. There is no hope in a fight like this. The battle is completely one-sided. Suddenly, a thought hits Augustus. His eyes widen. He stands up in panic and shouts a question, asking about Tang Zhan. The samurai looks around and answers that he hasn't seen him. Others are still lying around, hurt and quiet. Then the Shiva warrior Atal lifts his head and speaks. He says something strange happened. Right before they were dragged into that dark space, he saw Tang Zhan. The man was completely untouched. Lucifer acted like Tang Zhan wasn't even there. She didn't attack him. She didn't even look at him like an enemy. Augustus is confused and demands to know what Atal is trying to say. Atal hesitates, then says what he's been thinking. His theory is terrifying. He believes Tang Zhan and Long Xia might have already betrayed humanity. He thinks they could be working with the demons. Augustus refuses to accept it. His voice is firm. He says Tang Zhan would never do that. Tang Zhan has always fought for humanity. He's not the kind of person to turn against his people. Atal doesn't back down. He reminds Augustus that friendship can't blind them now. He says others might have noticed the same thing. One mate speaks up and agrees. He also saw it. Lucifer showed no aggression toward Tang Zhan. Not even a hint of hostility. That is not normal. Another injured warrior speaks with doubt in his voice. He says maybe Tang Zhan really has turned against them. The idea is hard to believe, but the silence among the group shows that doubt is growing. Atal continues speaking. He tells them to remember the time outside the dragon's spirit's secret realm. Everything had seemed normal, but then chaos began. The warriors, all trusted allies, suddenly started attacking one another. No warning, no reason. It was madness without logic. That kind of control to make powerful warriors turn on each other without even knowing why is not something a human can do. Atal believes there had to be help from a demon. No other explanation makes sense. A power that deep and hidden cannot come from a normal source. And when the smoke cleared, who gained the most? Suyang, the one originally blocked from entering the dragon's spirit's secret realm, somehow got inside. In the end, the ones who benefited the most were Suyang and Long Xia. The timing is too perfect. Augustus lowers his head slightly. His voice carries disbelief but also acceptance. He admits that someone controlling his actions without him realizing is not a simple trick. That kind of power is beyond the level of a 9-turn half-god, is far above anything a normal human can resist. The samurai warrior steps forward, bringing up another point. He reminds the group of the two women who were last seen with Tang Zhan, Makiko Asuka from their homeland and Verlia from the Evil Federation. He wonders if they are also working with the demons. Atal's eyes widen. He curses himself silently. He had completely forgotten about the two girls. They were so weak in battle, their presence seemed unimportant. He clenches his fists. Even now, his pride keeps him from admitting the full truth. He quickly shifts the blame back to Tang Zhan. He says Tang Zhan must have captured them. It would make sense if Tang Zhan wanted to keep the secrets of the dragon's spirit's secret realm to himself. The samurai warrior thinks about it. He nods slowly. He says that is possible. Tang Zhan taking control of the situation for his own benefit is not out of the question. Atal keeps thinking to himself. He doesn't know the full truth of what Tang Zhan did, but something is clear. Tang Zhan is ahead of everyone. He has died one time less than the rest. That alone gives him a huge lead in strength. His pride refuses to let this continue. He decides he must bring Tang Jian down. Now only two people know the truth about what really happened inside the dragon spirit's secret realm. Those two girls. Atal forms a plan. If he can create conflict between the girls and Tang Jian, then maybe the balance can shift. Maybe it can still steal the secrets for themselves. He promises to himself that the rise of Shiva must not be stopped again. No matter what, he will make sure of that. Even if it means using lies, fear, or betrayal. Atal, the Shiva warrior, starts twisting the truth even more. His voice is full of false concern, but his real goal is clear. He wants to control the others. He tells them to think carefully. He says Tang Jian's actions are strange and too suspicious to ignore. He insists that Tang Jian must be hiding something dangerous. The others begin to gather around him, their faces unsure. One of them speaks and says that even though it sounds hard to believe, there is still a chance that it could be true. Atal takes that moment to push further. He says there is no more time to sit and wait. He demands they go find Tang Jian immediately. That plan ends fast. Behind him, Tang Jian suddenly appears. His eyes glow red, filled with power and fury. A strong, burning aura surrounds him. His presence shuts everyone up in an instant. He does not waste words. His fist slams straight into Atal's face with brutal force. Atal's body flies through the air like a rag doll and smashes into a large rock. The rock shatters on impact, completely destroyed. That one punch says everything. Tang Jian looks down at him with disgust. His message is clear. He warns Atal not to spread lies about him again. If he does, there will be no mercy next time. Atal lies on the ground, barely able to move. His pride is crushed harder than the rock he hit. Augustus steps forward. His hand points at Tang Jian. His voice is serious. He says Tang Jian must explain himself. He demands to know why Tang Jian was not trapped in Lucifer's barrier. He wants to know where Tang Jian disappeared to just now. Tang Jian stands firm. His face stays calm. He says he owes no one any explanations. If they really have doubts, they can take the matter to the holy city and let the high priest confirm everything. That is his answer. He refuses to bow down to suspicion. Behind him, two figures step forward, Verlia and Makiko. Both of them look tired but determined. Verlia speaks first. She explains that Tang Jian had rushed with them all the way to the border of Longxia. His actions were fast and full of purpose. He only stopped for a brief moment before heading straight back. Makiko nods and adds more. She says that at that time, Tang Jian looked very strange. His expression and movements made him seem like someone under control, like something had taken over him for a short while. Their words fall over the crowd like heavy stones. The truth starts to form. Tang Jian is not the villain. Atal's plan begins to crack. The real story is much deeper than anyone knew. Augustus stands silent for a moment. His thoughts begin to settle. If Tang Jian really dares to suggest taking things to the holy city, then his innocence becomes more likely. Everyone knows the high priest can detect lies. No one, not even a half-god, can hide falsehoods under that sacred power. The samurai warrior reflects quietly. A different thought comes to his mind. He wonders if maybe the true enemy is not Tang Jian but someone else. Perhaps the young man from Longxia is the one connected to the abyssal demons. Augustus has the same idea running through his head, but it sounds too strange. Suyang has only just reached his 4th class advancement. He has no strong status, no big title, no power that should allow him to do something so large. The idea feels almost silly. Still, doubt is a dangerous thing. Augustus then makes a decision. His voice is calm but clear. Since Tang Jian is willing to face the judgment of the high priest, they must go to the holy city. There, the truth can be confirmed. At the same time, they will settle matters related to the elf kingdom. The others agree without argument. The tension in the group begins to lift slightly, and they start walking together toward the holy city. At their back on the ground, Atal still lies bruised and broken. His body hurts, but his pride burns hotter. His eyes are full of rage. He clenches his fist tightly. His heart is poisoned with revenge. He swears silently that Tang Jian will pay for the shame. He no longer cares about the truth. His goal is only to see Tang Jian fall. Later, everyone arrives at the holy temple in the center of the holy city. The temple stands tall and full of light. Inside, the high priestess stands before the great statue of light. Her presence is calm and sacred. She addresses the group with a steady tone. She asks if anyone among them has ever worked with the abyssal demons or if they were ever controlled without their knowledge. Everyone answers together with firm voices. A golden light begins to glow above each person's head. The temple reacts to the truth. This sacred glow is the proof of honesty. No tricks, no lies. Tang Jian stands among them with the same calm expression. His confidence is finally understood. He knew he was innocent. He knew the temple would show it. The golden light shining above his head proves him right. The doubt others had now looks foolish. The high priestess turns to Verlia and Makiko. Her eyes remain soft, but her words carry weight. She asks if their previous statements about the events inside the dragon spirit's secret realm are completely true. The question is meant to bring full clarity. Verlia and Makiko stay quiet, frozen in place. They hesitate. The golden light above their heads starts to dim slowly. Everyone notices it. The light that was once glowing strong now flickers and fades. That sacred glow only fades when the heart holds something back. Verlia feels panic rise inside. She never expected the high priestess to carry such a terrifying skill. Her heart beats faster. She knows the truth is slipping out whether she speaks or not. Makiko keeps her eyes low. Her thoughts go to Suyang. She does not want to betray him. She wants to protect him. But the power of the high priestess is too much. It is not fair. The moment they hesitate, the temple itself begins to turn against them. The others in the hall start reacting. Fingers rise and point at the two girls. The mood turns sharp and accusing. Augustus raises his voice in anger. His trust feels shattered. The samurai warrior shouts next. His tone is filled with rage and threat. He speaks without care. He does not want to hear excuses. Makiko stands in silence, her lips pressed together. Verlia clenches her hands. The crowd around them becomes a wall of judgment. Tangzhan watches the scene unfold. His thoughts grow heavy. He begins to wonder if this truly connects back to Suyang. His mind recalls all the information he had gathered before. Every report, every source, every opinion painted Suyang the same way: talented, kind, strong, loyal. He was never described as ruthless or evil. Tangzhan had seen no signs of corruption or greed. He reminds himself that even if Suyang had any abyssal ties, it never harmed Tangzhan or the two girls. That alone is worth something. But if the final truth reveals that Suyang is connected to the abyss, then the path forward becomes hard. Tangzhan wonders what must be done. Should he fight Suyang? Should he end him before the damage spreads? Or is there still something left to trust? The high priestess speaks calmly. Her words cut through the noise. The lies have been exposed. There is no point hiding anything now. Holding back the truth any longer may bring consequences no one wants. If the two girls do not wish to speak in front of everyone, she offers them a choice. They may follow her to the confession room. There they can speak everything in private. She promises that she will make the final judgment herself. Verlia leans closer to Makiko and whispers. Her voice is low. She wonders if maybe, just maybe, there is a way for the truth they both carry to be seen clearly under the light of the high priestess. If that is the case, then perhaps something long buried can finally come out. Makiko nods. She has been thinking the same. The burden is too heavy now. They can no longer hide. Verlia lifts her head and addresses the high priestess. She asks for permission to go to the confession room. She promises to tell everything. The high priestess agrees and turns to lead them. The crowd watches silently. Before stepping into the confession room, both Verlia and Makiko turn their heads. Their eyes lock onto the Shiva warrior. That look is cold. Their stare carries no fear. It is a silent warning. 10 minutes pass, and the heavy silence inside the holy temple finally breaks. The door to the confession room opens. The high priestess steps out with a firm expression. Behind her, Verlia and Makiko walk with steady steps. Their faces hold no fear now. They have said what needed to be said. The high priestess raises her staff and points it directly at the Shiva warrior. Her voice echoes through the temple like thunder. She demands a clear answer from Atal. She asks if he had ever worked together with his nation's shadow agent Vijanu and gave him orders to eliminate all participants inside the dragon spirit's secret realm. Her question is direct: yes or no. Atal's face twists in shock. His lips tremble. He cannot form a straight answer. His thoughts are a mess. He never expected this. He wonders how the high priestess knows. His eyes dart toward Verlia and Makiko. In his mind, they must be the ones who ruined everything. But then he quickly shakes the thought off. That cannot be. He knows they never captured Vijanu. He was sure he had covered his tracks. The high priestess continues speaking. She states that both Makiko Asuka and Verlia gave their full testimonies. According to them, it was Suyang who found out about Vijanu's plot inside the secret realm. Suyang uncovered the truth and dealt with Vijanu himself. The two girls were not involved in the actual fight. Now everything rests on this final question. If Suyang is not guilty and the only one left is Vijanu, and if Vijanu took orders from someone, that person must be Atal. The high priestess repeats her demand. All Atal has to do is answer truthfully, yes or no. From behind the group, Poker speaks out with disbelief. He brings up Suyang's current level. A 4th-class advancement should never be able to defeat a 6th-class warrior like Vijanu. That part confuses him, but Carolina cuts through the noise. She says that is not the important point. The real problem is Atal. She yells in anger, calling him out for plotting behind everyone's backs. Her voice is filled with disgust. Atal tries to deny everything. He says he did not do it. Then the golden light above his head fades and disappears completely. The crowd gasps. That light only vanishes when someone lies. The truth is finally out. The high priestess lifts her staff again. Her voice is calm but firm. She declares that by the sacred authority of the Holy Light Priesthood, she temporarily grants Tangzon the right of execution. She declares the full judgment. Atal of the Shiva nation is guilty. He is sentenced to 3 death penalties. His crimes are heavy and his lies unforgivable. He will also be imprisoned in the holy city, and the length of his punishment will be decided in time. Atal drops to his knees. His eyes are wide with disbelief. He cannot accept this. All this planning, all his schemes, all his lies shattered in front of everyone. Now he is nothing but a disgraced traitor. Tangzon steps forward. His aura blazes like fire, full of fury. His presence burns through the temple. His words hit Atal like another blow. He makes it clear. None of them, neither he nor the girls from Sakura Nation or the Eagle Federation, had anything to do with this betrayal. It was all Atal. It was Atal who wanted to frame Suyang to cover his own tracks. It was Atal who nearly turned the entire alliance against the wrong person. All because of his greed, fear, and jealousy. Now he will pay the price. Atal begins to panic. His voice trembles and he tries to defend himself. He yells out that this is slander. He admits he may have made such a plan, but he insists that he never worked with the abyssal demons. Then he throws another accusation. He claims Suyang is not innocent either. He brings up the elves, saying Suyang killed many of them, even a prince. His voice grows louder and more desperate. He tries to shift the blame. He says if he is guilty, then Suyang must be guilty too. He points fingers at Long Xia, accusing the nation of blocking the Elf Alliance. In his twisted view, their crimes are worse than his own. He calls them the real traitors. The moment he speaks too far, Tangzhen ends the nonsense. A blazing fist crashes into Atal's body with explosive force. The punch is not just strong, it releases a beam of pure energy that carries Atal with it. The impact is so powerful that Atal's entire body is disintegrated, completely erased from existence in that instant. Seconds later, his soul reforms at the resurrection point. But before he can even breathe, Tangzhen is already there again, standing above him like a storm waiting to fall. His voice cuts through the air. He makes it clear, this is not finished. Another punch lands. Another energy beam follows. Atal is shattered again, body and soul torn apart for the second time. Once more, Atal is reborn, but the fire in Tangzhen's eyes is no longer blazing. It has become cold, controlled. Tangzhen turns his back and gives his final words to Atal. He tells him to walk to the dungeon and wait there for the judgment to come. Atal spits out bitter words. His pride is already broken, but he tries to act like he still holds power. His words are empty now. The Lady Knights of the Holy Temple step forward. They surround him and take him into custody. There is no struggle. Atal has nothing left. And as they drag him away, Atal's thoughts twist into darkness. He reflects on everything. The truth is out. His lies are broken. Shiva Nation will not escape this mess. He believes retribution will fall on them too. Inside his mind, he sends a final message to his brother. A dark command. He tells him to spread the word to the Elf Kingdom about the death of their prince. He says Suyang must be blamed. He tells him to flip the table. If the game cannot be won, then break the board. He gives his last instruction, join the abyss, stand with the demons, seek revenge. Far away, seated on a quiet grassy land, Suyang is watching it all unfold through a magical projection. To him, the choice of Shiva Nation is clear. They are not joining the abyss for strength or power. They are running into it out of fear and weakness. That kind of move is not a strategy. It is just walking straight into a trap. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button as today's goal is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below for the next part. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.